Hey, good morning. I'm back again. Yes, in the same robe, which, by the way, I do wash quite often. Um, I was just talking to the Lord this morning, and He was sharing some memories with me. Basically, just kind of running memories through my mind of things that I needed to let go of. And I just was in agreement with Him. I was like, yep, need to let that go. And so I just basically closed my eyes and I took all of the burdens that I was carrying and I just basically approached him and right at the foot of the throne, which surprisingly resembled the cross a lot, and just took all of my burdens and I was carrying them and they look like rocks, all different sizes of rocks. And so I'm carrying them and I take them and I just basically dump them at his feet, at the foot of the cross, at the base of the throne, and I just drop them. And I hear, take my yoke. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. And if you know, a yoke is the thing that goes over like an oxen's head that helps them pull whatever they're pulling. And the way he gave it to me, when I took it, I realized that it wasn't this heavy burden thing. It was a cape, right? It was like a cloak. It was a cape, like a Superman cape. And so I tie it around my neck and I say, thank you. I'm going to take your yoke, on myself. And I'm exchanging that. And as I'm walking, um, wherever we are, I think, what is the yoke? Your yoke is easy and your burden is light. What is it? And he made it really simple. It's to do the will of the Father, right? Yeah, what does that look like though in my life? And he's like, to hear, to obey, and to trust. This is the yoke of the Lord, the burden of God. Is simply to hear, trust, and obey. That's the proper order: hear, trust, and obey. Um, and so I'm like, okay. And so when I look back at the burdens, or at least when we discuss the burdens, because I didn't actually look back at them. But as I'm saying to him, oh, okay, so if that's the yoke, if that's the burden, that's all I have to carry, then I gave you a lot of stuff, a lot of big rocks and blah, 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 and I'm dropping them. And he said, yeah, you exchange performance. Imagine closing your eyes and dropping those burdens and giving God the heavy stuff of performance and doing it your way and figuring it out on your own and being independent and being strong when it's so much easier to be weak and let God be strong. And all of the things, right, that we carry throughout the day, all of the worries, all of the fears, all of the stresses, all of the relationship anxieties, all of the financial struggles, all of the disappointments, heartbreaks, all of the weariness of life, the striving, the attempting, the performing, the doing, the being a good Christian, all of it is exhausting. And so I hope today that you will exchange your burden for his. Whatever that is, whatever is worrying you. You in school? Okay. You don't have to figure it out on your own. You don't even have to do it in your own strength. You can literally start every day with, Lord, I need you to empower me, to give me the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding in a supernatural way. And that's true for business or parenting or marriages, whatever it is. If we would take God's wisdom and his yoke and not be so arrogant as to think that what we know um, has any measure compared to who he is and what he knows, then we could really live a peaceful, quiet life. The world may not be peaceful and quiet. We may be at war all the time. You know, most of the time when the kings went to war, they were at peace because they had all of the army they needed to win, you know? And for the children of Israel, when they went to war, no matter how anxious they were in their humanity, they knew that God had their back. And if He said they had the victory, they were like, all right, let's just go. Yes, they had to swing the sword. They had to collect the booty, but treasure. When I say booty, treasure, right? But they didn't have to do it in their own strength and their own power. And so I encourage you to exchange His burden for yours, right? I love you guys.